Hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana Arias and I'm the author of Dear Parents from Your Child's Loving Teacher, and I'm also a teacher librarian. And as promised, I was going to come back and just give you a small tip, point of conversation for you to take into consideration that might help you at home with your kid or children, because some of us have more than one. So today I wanted to speak about communication and the power of it. And lots of times we think, well, I'm listening to my child or I'm talking to my child. But I want to make you aware of an experiment that was done, and I'm looking at my iPad here. It's still-faced experiment by Dr. Edward Tronick that was done at University of Massachusetts in Boston about 10 years ago. And this experiment is quite astonishing. Look it up on YouTube and I will link it at the bottom. But it's quite astonishing because it really conveys, I think, what happens to most children when we're not listened to. And the experiment, what it does is that it's talking to a baby and a mother are together. And the baby is trying to get the mother's attention. And when a baby coos, and does cute little things, the mother reacts because that's what we do. You cannot help it but love your child, or any baby for that matter, as my granddaughter would point out. But in the experiment, the mother has a still face. Nothing. So the baby's, trying to make faces and trying to get her attention, and mother is blank face. Just making that face feels ugly. Anyway, so the child starts getting desperate. And you really start seeing after a few minutes, not even a few minutes, after a little bit, that the child will kind of twist back and, starts getting desperate. And, and of course the mother can't stand it, and after a little bit she will, pay attention to the child again. Well, as I think about this experiment, our kids start getting older. And many a times we stop listening to them. And now I'm not blaming anybody, because I have done it myself. Sometimes my granddaughter will come over to the house and she wants to play and she wants to do things, and I'm like, okay, I'm making dinner. Well, my husband cooks dinner most of the time, but I'm picking up after dinner and I'm doing all these different things. And what ends up happening is that she's not getting my attention. And the other day I was at a grocery store, and the child started having all these antics because the mother was not paying attention to him. And I don't blame her. She's tired, she's busy. After a day of work, the last thing you want to do is deal with something. You just kind of want to have that meditative state for yourself. So what I want you to think about as you're looking at this experiment, and please do, because that's going to be my point of action. Today, my point of action is go look at this video that I will link in the description so that you can see it. Think about how we as adults, or even our younger children, feel when we're not seen, when we're not heard. And that's a really important thing, because not being heard or not being seen equals not being validated. And that's scary. That's quite scary, because we all want to matter, and we all want to be important, and we all want to be recognized. So I'm just putting that out there. There's no judgment, because as I said, I've done that too. And it's human. But the point of it is that we need to make sure that if we become aware of it, hopefully we can stop at least a little bit and say, okay, this child of mine needs importance. And I might just break that little rule that I said that I would leave you with one point of action, which is to go and see this video. And even a more important point of action, I think, is, and this just came to me as I'm speaking, are you listening to that inner child of yourselves? That inner child that's inside you that just needs that little attention? If you are, that would be amazing. And if you're not, stop and listen to it. Maybe that child is saying, I need a coffee. And you go get that coffee for yourself. Or I need a 5-minute rest. And you might just go into the bathroom and take a magazine and just read it for 5 minutes just to ground yourself again. So 2 points of action. Go watch that video, think about what it makes you feel, and if we at any point in time make a child feel like that. And second point of action, are you listening to your own inner child? So I guess having said that, I will see you next time. Thank you very much.